Came here to Wigan. They hadn't beaten them this year, but they did today. Anything can happen.
Okay, this looks like they're on their way out of the dressing rooms then. Leeds and Hull FC. Danny Tickle on the right for the Black and Whites leading Hull FC, and Kevin Sinfield leading the Leeds Rhinos onto this Headingley, what they hope will be their fortress. Right, let's get over there live then, and the boys who described events for you in Perpignan last night as the Catalan Dragons won 56 points to 6 are in action again at Headingley, and that means it's Brian Carney, Barry McDermott, Terry O'Connor, but first it's Bill Arthur.
Well, Leeds ended Hull's bid for Wembley with that win at the KC Stadium in July, and now Leeds looking to end Hull's interest in the playoffs. Ben Thaler is the referee this evening on, thankfully, what is now a dry evening in West Yorkshire with a rainbow over the Headingley Stadium. Contrast to the torrential downpour that struck the city earlier on this afternoon. Things have calmed down now as Hull FC get us underway, attacking the end. Their supporters have populated, and Maguire with an interesting collection of the ball, and then Peacock meets the challenge led by Lee Radford. Well, it's going to be a fiery opening here. It has to be, you sense, for Hull FC to keep Leeds at bay.
Well, this is a tremendous kick-off from Hull FC, and Danny Maguire has no chance catching that ball on the full. And Hull FC know that they need to man up physically. There's that kick-off, and they're very compressed. They know that the big fellas in the middle, Luluai, Peacock, Jones Buchanan and Wella Huraki, they need to handle them.
Mark O'Mealy involved in the tackle there, and there is some speculation as to the fitness of O'Mealy going into this game, but he's out there playing. Of course, sadly, Craig Fitzgibbon isn't. His season ended by that ankle injury, and there is no Sam Hobbs. There is O'Mealy. Plenty of players out there with lots of experience of the playoffs on both sides of the world. Jamie Peacock among them. There is Sam Hobbs. That hamstring injury keeping him out of the action, and meaning that Joe Westerman is partnering Richard Horne in the halves this afternoon for the Black and Whites.
Well, Joe Westerman, he's played at loose forward, he's played in the back row, this standoff, and he's up against Kevin Sinfield, probably one of the best players who've played for Leeds over the past decade, but he's been in absolutely sensational form, and it does really lead this Hull FC side around. Probably the only negative for Hull FC is the kicking game this year. They really do need to have a strong kicking game if they want to trouble Leeds.
The kicking game is in Westerman's hands or feet, but it's Jordan Turner putting boot to ball, and it's Peacock who gets there first as that one ricochets.
Well, that's probably an example. Jordan Turner, a sloppy kick. He's trying to come back against the grain and set one of his team players up, but unfortunately for him, it comes off a Leeds Rhinos player. Here you can see he tries to kick it back inside for Danny Tickle. Leeds now back with the ball.
Now, the man that played the ball previously, Zach Hardacre, he's picked in the left centre for Leeds Rhinos tonight, partnering Ryan Hall on the wing. Expect a lot of traffic to come his way. He's a very talented player, but there's not a lot of him at the moment. He will get bigger as his career progresses. Expect Danny Tickle, and I think they'll put down Jordan Turner down that wing and cause him some trouble tonight.
Well, it's Turner making the tackle on Hardacre at the moment. In fact, Hardacre, who made his name as a wingman with Featherstone Rovers in the Championship. And that ball has gone forward. And good defence from Hull. Pats on the back all round.
A mistake from Leeds Rhinos. Just a simple tackle. I think it's Westerman.
It is Joe Westerman.
The ball.
Okay. Move on, move.
That's what we call a forced error. Unforced errors are when the balls are clean dropped. And that's a sign of good defensive pressure from Hull FC.
Westerman, whose career at Hull FC started a bit sluggishly, but has got better as the season has gone on, and
move forward.
He's become more of a dominant figure in the Black and White side, I think.
And he's got to run the ball tonight, Bill. No Sam Hobbs, no dictation there. Richard Horne can do the passing, get Joe Westerman to take the line on and get through it.
Big Sam Moa, but you don't often see that. Sam Moa heading backwards towards his own try line. James Lowe's like the look of that.
Okay, now.
And alongside Brian McDermott. That's a great ball from O'Meally. Phelps, what a good ankle tap from Hardacre, and it was vital as well because it stopped the progress of the whole full-back.
Well, Mark O'Meally, not just the battering ram, and they've got to do that. The little interchange, the passes, is Hull FC.
And Hall will dribble that ball dead. Horn put the kick in. It was a good one. This is an encouraging start from Hull FC.
Well, Zach Hardacre was in all kinds of trouble, and he's not in the right position. If Zach Hardacre is at the side of Ryan Hall, he can tell him he's got time. You see Brent Webb just on the edge of your screen. I think Brent Webb said, get the ball out.
So first goal line dropouts of the game. As Eddie mentioned in the build-up, Hull have won 4 of their last 6 away games, and among their away scalps this season, Warrington. And that's no mean feat when you consider what happened to Huddersfield at the Hallowell Jones Stadium the other evening. So they've got it in them, have Hull. Here is Westerman now. These tackles 20 metres out from the Leeds line. Tickle back in the Hull side after that hamstring injury. That's a positive for them. They've got their goal kicker back as Radford plays the ball. Here is Phelps. Yeaman now. Kurt Yeaman stopped by Sinfield and Brett Delaney. Delaney back in the centres after a successful stint in the second row because of the absence of Carl Ablett with a head injury. And now here's Horn on the last crossfield kick. Hall under pressure, but no real pressure. Whiting couldn't get there in time to put much of a threat on him.
And not enough hang time on that kick, and that puts Leeds Rhinos right back on the affirmative. Ryan Hall, who collects that ball in the end goal, wants it back and gets 12 valuable metres for his team.
There's Ben Jones-Bishop. And now here's Delaney, and Samoa stood his ground there and stopped his progress. And Delaney just feeling his cheek there. I think he probably picked up a cut in that collision. Badiris is Sinfield now. Wella Haraki. It's a ball back infield to Sinfield. O'Meally tries to get a hold of him. Samoa comes to support, and that ball has come out. And Radford picks it up. That was a good tackle, combined tackle from O'Meally and Samoa.
Well, Kevin Sinfield, he was looking to offload that ball, and that was a big hit from Samoa. He just come in and he put his shoulder straight into Kevin Sinfield's ribs. The ball goes backwards, but Lee Radford's there to pick the ball up for Hull FC.
Now here is Tom Briscoe, and Briscoe gets a good pass away from Cameron Phelps.
Chris?
Houghton finds Richard Horn, now Westerman. Samoa was on his shoulder, and it was well read by the Leeds defenders. Good tackle from Chris Clarkson, it needed to be, because Samoa was motoring there. Tickle, Westerman standing still. Horn now. Horn fancies taking him on, but Badiris makes the tackle. Hull growing in confidence. The supporters urging them on at that end of the ground. The end the black and whites are attacking. Here's Phelps now. Phelps, a little kick to the corner, too strong.
Well, you can see what he was trying, but it's a difficult kick, and he's probably not a noted kicker. He's asked a lot of his boot there to try and curve that back in. It's a good positive start from Hull FC. They're playing a lot of the game down in Leeds end. You just wonder now, can they keep Leeds out? Because Leeds have got some tries in them tonight.
Well, in contrast with the game on Friday evening, we've yet to have a penalty here at Headingley Carnegie, as Kylie Little breaks the break. Brent Webb screaming up in support. He's overshot him. He couldn't put the brakes on.
He had options left and right. He didn't know what to do.
But Leeds aren't finished yet. Maguire delays the pass, and bang! The Hull defenders close down Hardacre. Here is Sinfield now. Sinfield. Wella Haraki was on his shoulder. First real offence from the Leeds Rhinos here, and it could turn into something positive as Webb hoists the kick. Hall lobs it up in the air. Jamie Jones-Buchanan gets the first try of the game. A Hail Mary pass if ever you saw one. And Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Player of the Year for the Rhinos, newly anointed, salutes the skies where that ball came from. as he gets the Rhinos off the mark. He has his wingman to thank for that one. His 11th of the campaign. And after enduring a lively Hull start and a bit of pressure up the other end of the field, Leeds get the first points.
Well, this is a fantastic break from Kyle Luluai. Inside and outside options, chooses to take the tackle. And from this field position, Leeds Rhinos just dink the ball. A lovely, beautiful kick by Brent Webb. Ryan Hall catches it over his head, and the newly crowned player of the year for Leeds Rhinos gets the first points.
The feeling is mutual. Now Kevin Sinfield, who was another award winner at that Rhinos Awards night recently, a special award for him for becoming the leading goal kicker in the club's history. And he received the award from the man whose record he beat, Lewis Jones. A very impressive framed portrait it was as well. And Kevin Sinfield with 115 goals to his credit already this season in Super League. Will slot another one. And Leeds ahead by 6 points to 0. Losers go out here. And the first try of the game from Jamie Jones-Buchanan, converted by the Leeds skipper Kevin Sinfield.
Well, Leeds Rhinos went 80 metres in this set of 6, and look at that for a clever kick from Webb. And you've got to be in the right place at the right time. And the work rate from Jamie Jones-Buchanan, both in defence and attack. He's got the opening try for Leeds Rhinos, but you've got to credit the bulldozing run of Kylie Luluai to get them on that front foot.
And that'll be disappointing for Hull, because they'd started really well, really brightly, kept Leeds at the end of the field where they needed to keep them, and then really the first opportunity Leeds have to get up the field, they capitalise on it.
And they'll take a lot of confidence for absorbing all that pressure. And Hull FC, Brian Carney spotted it very early on. They're going to run tonight, they're going to play it, not going to worry about the kicking game. And Kylie Luluai backs up a good effort with another one.
First penalty of the game goes the Leeds Rhinos' way.
Well, when you run with a bit of purpose like this, like Kyle Luluai does, he goes through 2 players, and that's an offensive win from the Leeds player, and that's what the penalty's given from Ben Thaler. They need to control Leeds' big forwards if they want to win this game, Hull FC.
Here is Jamie Jones-Buchanan, the try scorer. One of the players, well, there's so many of them in this Leeds side who know the way to Old Trafford like the back of their hand. They don't need a sat-nav. It's second nature. Sinfield among them. Here is Wella Haraki in the playoffs for the Crusaders last year. Ben Jones-Bishop. And Leeds threatening the whole line again, and threatening to post more points here. They've woken from their slumbers of the Rhinos. Looping pass which Peacock has to gather, and he's quickly closed down by Sam Moa. Stops the progress, and they've lost a bit of territory, and it's Sinfield with a kick on the last. It's a good kick as well, and they're going to get the ball back, because Whiting could do nothing else but push that one over the dead ball line.
Well, Leeds Rhinos just turning the screw. The amount of metres that they're making with the ball, it enables Kevin Sinfield to kick on the front foot under no real pressure, and Richard Whiting not taking any chances with that. He just bats it dead. It's a clever kick from Kevin Sinfield.
The last time these two met was back in July, and Hull failed to score, and pretty forgettable 20-0 Rhinos win that was. A dour game if ever there was one.
Absolutely right. They couldn't get their attack firing on that night. I worry for them a little now. They had a very good start to the game, yet found themselves the first team to concede. And now you see the experience of Leeds come to the fore. Kevin Sinfield with the knowledge and the ability to put that kick in, earn a repeat set, and further turn the screw on this whole defence.
Clarkson played the ball. Now it's with Sinfield. Here is Brent Webb. Delaney. Down low was Yeaman, and the penalty, because he hung on there, says referee Thaler.
Kurt Yeaman can't do anything else. A very low tackle. He doesn't have a colleague to try to slow that, play the ball down by an extra 2 or 3 seconds. Unfortunately gives Leeds Rhinos, another set of 6.
Fellas, we need the rook area tidying up. Come on.
Kurt Newman back in the Super League dream team after that 5-year absence on the back of a really strong season. He celebrated his 28th birthday last week, did the whole centre, hoping that there'll be a late present with progress in the playoffs. It's Leeds now, threatening once more. Here is Sinfield, onto Haraki, quick pass. Haraki, the New Zealand Maori representative, tackled short of the line. Delaney, that was forward, says referee Thaler.
Well, even in the slippery conditions, Leeds Rhinos are playing at the line. And the impressive start that they've had, it just goes with the amount of people that are pushing up in support. And Brett Delaney, he just overruns that ball from Danny Maguire.
You see so many of the stars in Super League trying that no-look pass, using the front door. And the conditions, whilst the pitch is very slippy, Leeds Carnegie played on this pitch a couple of hours before. Jason Booth, the Headingley groundsman, has done a fantastic job with the pitch.
Thankfully, they'd finished by the time that torrential downpour started, because I hate to think what this pitch would be like if we'd had the game going on and them trundling up and down it and having scrums all over the place. One or two divots in it as it is. Here is Lee Radford. Can't wait for Ryan Bailey to get on the field.
Well, Rob Burrow will be the interesting introduction, as he has done for the last, I don't know, 6-7 games, just bringing that game up an extra 2 or 3 notches. He's just warming up in the bottom left-hand corner as we're looking.
Bailey and Radford had a bit of a difference of opinion last September. Radford getting sent off.
Great defensive set from Leeds Rhinos. Richard Horn, the #1 kicker, getting caught on the last tackle. Kicking duties reverting to Danny Houghton. Brett Webb able to return it near to the halfway line, which should see Leeds, if they complete this set, put in an attacking kick at the end.
Well, that's not what you want, is it? Second tackle and Leeds are already attacking in your half. You need to play him at the other end of the park.
Bill, you've got your wish. Ryan Bailey's on.
In great form at the moment, according to his coach, Brian McDermott. And he is on the field. Hardacre now. Once the Featherstone Rovers through to the grand final in the Championship, his old club. Here's Maguire, and here is Bailey. Oh, and Bailey leaves Tickle on the deck.
Well, he picked him straight out, Danny Tickle, run over the top of him.
They're running it on the last, and they've given it to Whiting. Has Whiting got the legs? I don't think he has. Webb will come back and just ankle tap him. And across comes Peacock to finish off the job.
Well, Peacock and Bailey, 2 front rows. I don't know whether they were 20 yards behind, and that's the reason they got there. Oh! And that's play on.
Westerman's put it down. So Hull in a position there to capitalise as Leeds were still regrouping, and they lost possession. Leeds have it back.
Do you know, he started the game strong, Brett Delaney. There you'll see Joe Westerman, he just fumbles that ball. But again, they've earned themselves a penalty. The commitment to run into the tackle, Sam Howard just couldn't control Brett Delaney. He gives the penalty away, and they go for 2 points. You can see he lands on the wrong side of the ruck. He's trying to get round so he can get up in first marker. Well, there's a penalty, and it's 2 points, is it, for Leeds Rhinos?
Well, Hull probably won't complain. Richard Agar, possibly so, but gives him an opportunity to catch the breath.
I think so. I think you're right, Bill. I think Leeds, as Kevin Sinfield will certainly know best, but from up here, I would have thought that they could keep the pressure on Hull. They're starting to find some gaps in that defence, starting to break through and win the collision, play the ball quickly, and Hull were under pressure. This rest will suit them. They've also got a couple of players sitting on the sideline. They're ready to bring on, I think, Washbrook and Luaki were on the sideline with cards in their hands. They've now been told to sit down, but we might see them introduced in the not too distant future.
Sinfield again on target, extending the Rhinos' lead here. 8 points to 0. Former grand final regulars, the Rhinos ahead here.
Well, we talk about keeping the pressure on, but that further 2 points puts a bit more doubt in Hull FC's mind, and Brian McDermott has been under pressure this year, but this Leeds Rhinos side, they can perform. You look at Kevin Sinfield, Danny Maguire, Brent Webb, the front row of Peacock, Medeiros and Luluai, all star players.
Tickle will then
Back on.
restart. And Hull, after that really lively opening, haven't had much share of possession in actual fact.
One, move!
Leeds have been in a dominant spell, getting the points and occupying Hull territory.
So move! Hold it here.
Black and White's looking to just
Okay,
stop
move
them making
forward.
such easy progress,
okay.
and Webb gets that at the second attempt.
Well, they need to work very hard after contact, Hull FC.
That's
Kind of
right.
likes of Jamie
Oh, yeah,
Peacock
Danny.
land on his front. Get the quick play of the balls. They've got to slow them down and be very good in contact.
Jamie Jones-Buchanan making good progress despite the attention of Joe Westerman there and Jordan Turner.
But after the initial contact, still a leg drive from Jones Buchanan.
That's the fifth tackle as Maguire goes down. And now Sinfield, this time kicks across the field into a little bit of space, and Ben Jones-Bishop pops it up for Briscoe, and Briscoe has got open field ahead of him. Webb is coming across, Sinfield is chasing back, gives it to Horn, and Horn takes the tackle.
And who is it again covering back? Jamie Peacock. Oh. He's absolutely huge for this Leeds side.
Oh, Manu, there was a Leeds hand in there. Referees wipe the tackle count clean. Houghton has possession.
Go. Right, offside.
Here's Horn. Westerman's past a Tickle. Bang in midfield as Maguire put the shoulder in. Tickle survived that. A penalty, in fact. Offside.
Here's the touch from Ryan Hall, giving it back to 6. Leeds very much absorbing that pressure again.
Great opportunity for Hull now, Bill. They've turned it around, they've got possession, they've converted a break into more pressure, penalty awarded, and
now
they score.
Here's Jordan Turner, and Turner stopped and then driven toward the sidelines. Hull just about 5 metres out, and here is Epelahami Luaki. Really hard to handle, the former New Zealand Warriors forward. Houghton. Stray pass, and it's Yeaman having to pick that up. Lost momentum there.
Ready, Chris. Go.
Now here's Westerman. Westerman just running straight at Badiris. That's the fifth tackle.
Going right in.
Oh, the kick be like from Horn here. Or Houghton.
Well, it's Manu, in fact, and Manu, a little grubber kick. It's not a bad one, and they'll get the ball back because Webb has to retrieve the situation.
Well, they got the ball into the right man's hands there, just probably at the wrong time of the set. Willie Manu will be forced to put a kick in. A great kick as it turned out. Brent Webb knocks it dead. Early ball to Willie Manu. He's the biggest strike weapon in this whole team out on the left-hand side. He's got Kirk Eamon playing over his shoulder. Get him early ball and get him one-on-one with the defenders out there, Brett Delaney and Weller Huaki, and you might get some results.
Come on, Kev, speed it up.
Good response from Hull.
Back on.
As Sinfield puts the kick in. Oh, and Tickle, goalkeeper style, keeps it in play and bats it back to Whiting.
That kick going and coming from the sun, it's just to our left. Danny Tickle, you're right though.
Another penalty goes Hull's way.
Too slow, move means move.
Leeds can't afford to keep giving Hull FC good field position. Repeats.
Next time, boys.
Richard Whiting works very hard for his side.
Penalty count evening up, 3-2 now. It was 3-0 in favour of the Leeds Rhinos, an indication that Hull are just having a good patch here. In Luaki on the field, drives it straight at Bailey. Jamie Jones-Buchanan to make the tackle. Brent Webb gets involved. Danny Houghton. Here's Richard Horn now. Horn finds Cameron Phelps, and Phelps takes on Delaney, but can't get past the Leeds centre.
Go, come on with the ball.
Here's Richard Horn. Washbrook is on, and he's tackled right in front of those posts. Houghton. Here is Westerman now. Short pass from Westerman. Tickle is over the line, or is he? The referee, Ben Thaler, isn't certain, and he wants video ref Steve Ganson to have a look at this. Did Danny Tickle manage to slither over the Leeds line then, or did the Rhinos manage to stop his progress? Steve Ganson has the answer.
Well, on our mics, we heard he's lost it. Now, whether that was from the Leeds players, the referee...
Is that stolen?
Well, does Clarkson steal that ball? You know, Danny Tickle, he does a good job. He comes onto that ball, he hits it at speed.
Has Danny Tickle lost that in the act of trying to score a try, or has Chris Clarkson stolen this?
Chris Clarkson goes to clamp onto that ball, and then he comes up with it. I think he stole that ball.
You're saying penalty to Hull FC, Tez?
Well, I am
no
not
try, penalty to Hull FC. Penalty attack.
I wonder if Chris Clarkson just found that ball in his hands, really.
I think so, but to the letter of the law, I think you're right, Tez.
Ruck area. Tidy the ruck up, mate. Too slow.
Richard Agar and Chris Clarkson await the decision. Has Danny Tickle got Hull's first points on the board? Just in the hope that he's got over the whitewash. Those black and white fans beneath the scoreboard wait for the decision. They don't get the try, they do get the penalty. The ball was stolen by that man, Chris Clarkson, says the video ref.
It was a great line from Danny Tickle, and the provider was Joe Westerman.
Still a couple of tackles in the bag for the black and whites. O'Mealy takes the first of them. Now then, Washbrook, Horn, Manu. Player of the year at the Hull Awards night.
That's okay. Go.
Phelps now. Horn. And here is Luaki.
3. Move! Danny,
So the pressure on the Leeds defence now, they're right on their own try line as Luaki plays the ball, and Houghton, long pass, finds Manu. Manu for Yeeman, and that's good defence again by Sinfield and by Ben Jones-Bishop. Phelps. O'Mealy now. Short ball from, well, stray ball from O'Mealy, and Westerman gets it, but Hardacre gets Westerman. Tickle losing his footing, gets the pass away, Washbrook gets it back, referees wipe the tackle count clean.
Charge down that belt, charge down.
Hull just enjoying a good spell of good fortune and good pressure here.
Well, they've got to keep building the pressure.
Ready, not going home.
22 minutes into the game. They camp down the right end of the park.
O'Mealy, well, if he has got an injury, he's carrying an injury, then he's doing well despite it. Here is Horn now. Horn for Yeeman, and Yeeman trying to find a gap, but again, Leeds managed to stop his progress. It was Clarkson this time. Houghton. That's the 5th tackle. Can Leeds withstand the onslaught here? Manu will fancy it himself. Finds Phelps. Phelps, a lovely little kick in, and Jamie Jones-Buchanan, can he get out of trouble? He can, just.
Well, that's tremendous work from Jamie Jones-Buchanan, because Brent Webb, having made 2 tackles in that set of 6, was nowhere to be seen for the Leeds Rhinos. And Jamie Jones-Buchanan, diving over the line, secures possession for the Rhinos.
And a big ask for Hull FC now. Great period in attack. They've got to defend. They can't afford to concede a penalty and try and restrict the meters that Leeds make now. This is a good period for the early birds.
2 Leeds players really feeling the strain of those successive sets of 6. And Leeds kick downfield to Cameron Phelps, and Phelps finds Briscoe. The Leeds supporters, the South Stand, claiming a forward pass.
Well, first look, but it did look a bit forward out of Cameron Phelps' hands. Nonetheless, they could let him away with that one.
Are you saying that the South Stand is wrong, Ryan?
I've got to get out of here. No, they're right.
Well, Haraki has just left the field for the Rhinos and looked to have a bit of a problem, left in the company of the Leeds physio. Meanwhile, Hull make a change. Ewan Dowes is on. O'Mealy has left after a really strong stint for Hull. Is Willie Manu. Delaney grits his teeth. Manu goes man to man. Again, straight pass. Oh, and then Houghton and just puts it down.
Well, the execution of some of the passes from Hull FC has not been the best in this first half, and Danny Houghton, normally so reliable, he picks it up, does all the hard work, and then he just loses the ball.
I think there's a bit of game plan, and Hull FC are choosing to pass them 8-10 metre passes instead of the short ones. Let's get wide, let's get away from that ABC defensive line from the Rhinos. Alilawatiti on the field for his last home game in the blue and amber, and a penalty goes in the way of Leeds Rhinos. Ewan Dowes with his hand on the back of the head of Alilawatiti.
Dowes, a former Leeds man earlier in his career before racking up the appearances for Hull FC. And Leeds have managed to relieve the pressure. Suddenly, that penalty has got them out of their own half, where they've seem to have been for quite some time.
And it's just a little lax in concentration like that, where you give your penalty away, and all of a sudden you're defending your line 15 metres from it.
Here is Lawatiti, but Horn with the tackle, Manu there as well. Sinfield now, Sinfield for Bailey. Bailey could offload, finds Sinfield, Sinfield for Clarkson. Hardacre takes that pass, it was whizzing above his head and cuts back across the field. Sloppy played the ball, and he did, he knocked it on.
Zach Hardacre trying to play that ball too quick. Just a simple, unforced error. And a significant change for Leeds Rhinos now. Rob Burrow about to get on the pitch.
Fellas, if it's okay, just listen to defensive wins. No silly second efforts, okay? It's like, let's clear the road. Okay, keep working.
Can't make a change at the scrum, but guarantee as soon as this scrum has been formed and played, Rob Burrow will be on.
Stay on, heading, Joy. Out!
It's Jordan Turner now, and
Move!
Maguire stands his ground and makes the tackle. Tickle.
Move! Ready. Go.
Now here is Ewan Dowes, and Bailey
Move!
gets a hold of his former teammates. Rob Burrow getting ready to come on.
Get out.
This is his 350th career appearance. But just lately, he's been making those appearances off the bench. I know Steve-O's a bit sceptical about that his current role in the side, but it's one that the coach certainly thinks works for the side. Here's Westerman now. Tickle. Hall bats that ball down. The referee says, don't go any further.
Well, he's had to do something, Ryan Hall. He's had to make a play at that ball. If Danny Tickle had got it away, I think you'll find Leeds would have been caught well short. 2 men short, in fact. So while he has to concede possession, it's a good defensive play by Ryan Hall, the left wing for Leeds Rhinos.
Keep working out. Stay there, Danny. Okay, form it, please, lads. Stay on. Heading Joe properly. Out!
So Hull have head and feet at the scrum. Here is Richard Whiting. Leeds ahead by 8 points to 0. Those points coming with the try from Jamie Jones-Buchanan, and then 2 goals from Kevin Sinfield.
Move! Ready?
Here's Luaki. Horn now. Horn showed the pass to Washbrook, then takes the tackle himself. Houghton just ushers Phelps out of the way and takes control of proceedings. And Luaki takes on Bailey. Kirk assists with the tackle, and Horn, maybe not the pace of old from Richard Horn, but that's the 5th tackle.
Go.
Houghton, Washbrook crossfield kick, way too strong, and Hall under no pressure, and that element of the whole game has maybe not been at its best.
Well, again, talking about the kicking game from Hull FC and Leeds making a mistake. Now Ryan Hall, it's all about speed for Leeds Rhinos, and Ryan Hall just comes up with an error and gives possession back to Hull FC. There you see, he just loses possession, a clean drop. Again, Leeds not bothered about playing rugby, bringing the ball away from the line. A little pass from Ben Jones-Bishop.
Oh, not a Matthew Elliott.
Well, Brian McDermott nearly fell off the chair there.
For me, boys.
For a moment.
What Hull have got to look for from their number 9, Danny Howe, is a bit more work around the dummy half. They're not doing enough to tie up Leeds defenders, and when they shift the ball, Leeds are able to slide off and mark up. Hull aren't creating an overlap. They've got to do more work around the ruck, tie in Leeds defenders, then shift the ball wide.
Oh, and Yeaman's lost the ball. Leeds have it back.
I take your point, Brian, I do, but I genuinely think that they're trying those wide passes to get away from the ABC, but what you're saying, here's the strip from Ryan Bailey. Could have been a case for Hull FC having that ball back.
Well, it's Leeds in possession and Leeds with the penalty. Luwaki.
Do you know, they can't keep giving field position away to Leeds Rhinos. And also, they've got to make sure that they start winning her up, because with Rob Burrow on, now he's just entered the field. If he gets a quick play the ball in these slippy conditions and he runs at a big man like Luwaki, he will cause an awful lot of problems. He's so quick, he's so dynamic, and if he sees an opportunity, he'll take it.
Sinfield puts the kick into touch, and then Bailey with the first charge.
Hurt Danny Tickle then. You see him grasping his ribs.
Here is Maguire. Maguire, who was limping a moment ago, is skipping now.
Footwork on the big man.
And Leeds, again, have broken the shackles and again are threatening. Here is Kirk. Referee cries held as Luwaki and Radford get a hold of the former Hull Kingston Rovers man. Here's Sinfield, a little spin from Sinfield, finds Burrow, and Burrow puts a kick in. He's meeting a sandwich, and Leeds will get the penalty.
Was it Lee Radford? Did he interfere here with Rob Burrow? When he kicks this ball, it's Lee Radford, yes it is. Just steps up across him, steps across him, puts his left leg out on his left arm. Clear penalty for Leeds Rhinos and more pressure for Hull FC.
Sinfield not going for the 2 points this time. They're going to try and make the most of this opportunity as Bailey is tackled about 5 metres out, and now it is with Sinfield, and Sinfield for Ali Lauatiti. He'll be playing for Wakefield next season. Sinfield, Webb, quick hands from Webb, and Ben Jones-Bishop in the corner. And there was nobody in his way as Ben Jones-Bishop goes in for his 10th try of the season. And the penalty conceded by Hull again leads to more points for the Rhinos. And Ben Jones-Bishop, a try scorer in that 20 points to 0 win over Hull here in July. Again on the score sheet against the Black and Whites.
Well, penalties can hurt Hull FC. You see Rob Burrow frightening to death all those big fellas in the middle. Tez called it. Lee Radford sticks a leg out. And Kevin Sinfield has two choices. Do I go left to a very deep, well-set line, or do I go right to Brent Webb, who comes up with a fantastic play through his legs? Brian McDermott will tell you we've been practicing that all week.
Well, that's now tries in the last 4 home games for Ben Jones-Bishop. And Kevin Sinfield with the conversion attempt from way out wide, probably his trickiest kick of the game so far. And as he lines this up, the South Stand applaud young Ben Jones-Bishop, 23 years of age. Sinfield eyeballs the uprights. This is his first miss of the evening. The Leeds, though, are ahead by 12 points to 0. Remember, the losers here go out of the playoffs, and Hull with some work to do against Brian McDermott's men.
Well, people talk about peripheral vision, and that was one magical ball from Brent Webb. He knew that Ben Jones-Bishop was hugging the touchline. He knew exactly where he was, and he just whips that out the back. He doesn't have to change his stride, Ben Jones-Bishop, and goes in for a simple try.
Are Leeds getting in their stride at just the right point of the season, in time for the playoffs? They've built up a 12-0 lead here. They came back to beat Huddersfield 31-24 at the Gal Farm. Only the second team to win there in 2011. They demolished Wakefield the week before that.
Bill, look at the team. Look at them, name for name. They've got some real big match experience players who've played on the big stage, whether it be in grand finals, on the international front, and people writing them off. You're right, Leeds off at your peril.
20 of the Leeds squads have that grand final experience. Sinfield, Peacock and co. They've been there 5 times in the previous 7 seasons. Have they got it in them for another visit to Old Trafford? At the moment, they're in charge here. But all it would take would be one whole break. And they'll be back in the game. Sinfield, under a bit of pressure, puts the kick in, and here's Briscoe.
You're right, Bill. There's only a whole break in this game, really. They've got to believe that they've got a chance. 6 minutes to go before half-time. 2 converted tries behind. They've showed enough tonight. They've showed more than when they came here last time in front of the Sky cameras and were impotent in attack. Tonight they've got something about them. Once they continue that belief and hopefully cross the line for themselves before half-time, they get every chance of getting a result here tonight.
There's a real schmozzle here at the play of the ball. Good return of the ball from Tom Briscoe, forcing that penalty.
Little to choose between these two in terms of point scoring in the regular season. Leeds with 130 compared to Hull's 128. Hull haven't been doing an awful lot of it of late. Here's Luaki. And they're 20 metres out now, our Hull. Houghton. Here's Westerman. Ooh, that looked forward from Westerman to Tickle. They got away with that one.
He was looking for Cameron Phelps, then Joe Westerman.
Radford, Luaki. That's the 5th tackle. Now they need a better kick on the last here. It hasn't been good. Horn now, this one looks more promising, and they'll get the ball back.
Well, that's a good chase from Hull FC. This is exactly what they need now, going into half-time. They need to build a bit with a bit of confidence. Leeds Rhinos' defence has been very good on the try line, but Brent Webb and Kevin Sinfield, he comes from nowhere. He's under pressure from Kirk Yeeman. He's hunting that mistake, anticipating that loose pass. And the ball on the floor, but Kevin Sinfield comes up with the play yet again.
Well, they've changed up their tactics a little. They're trying the turn-up ball to create an overlap before they shift it out to their centres and wide-running back rowers. Whatever they're doing, they now realise that they've got to shorten up the amount of numbers that Leeds have in the line, and they've done it twice in that set through the turn-up play.
Sinfield again going for the sidelines, and this time getting there.
Well, a very greasy surface. We've seen a couple of times Danny Tickle have to court with that ball. I don't know whether that nutmegs him or he just completely misjudges it, and Richard Whiting would be no good at keeping up it.
Well, he was when he was a Barnsley junior. But that was a bit of a tall order, that was.
Keepy up is not one, Bill. It's more than one.
That's one. Move!
Well, one would have done, wouldn't it? Yeah. A keepy up.
Yes. Keepy in. New game.
Good catch on that.
Move!
You can see that in next season's training manual for the Rhinos juniors. Here is Ali Lawatiti and trying to wrestle an arm free. He's got it out somehow. It's gone backwards, says the referee. Quite how Ben Thaler works that out, well, we'll never know. But
how does he get this ball away? Three big men in attendance, and he still manages to get his arm free.
That's a knock-on. Hull FC hard done by Leeds in attack.
Here's Burrow, got away with that one. Maguire, Bailey, and Bailey just swats aside the challenger, Radford, and then Webb will finish off. And just before the break, Leeds extend their leads. Brent Webb all smiles. The coach must be purring with content. And he said before the game, Ryan Bailey was playing some of his best of the season, and he was instrumental in that try. Richard Agar heads for the sidelines.
Well, when Ali Lawatiti joined the Rhinos in 2004, he came over described as the Michael Jordan of rugby league. And that offload may have had some controversy about it, but there's nothing controversial. A simple drop-off, a one-on-one miss from Lee Radford, and a wonderful offload. Straight and hard. A nice bump from Bailey, and good push-through support from Brent Webb, who's had an excellent season for Leeds.
That's his 80th try for the Leeds Rhinos, Brent Webb. And Kevin Sinfield 2 from 3 so far this evening, on target with that one. And Leeds, well, 12-0, they were vulnerable. 18-0, not home and dry, but it's a commanding lead to take into the break.
Well, Lee Radford, normally a very good defender, but he's defending on his heels. Look at him, he's backing off. And when Ryan Bailey's running at you, you've got to make sure that you go forward. He just gets his arm free and offloads it to Brent Webb, who's an attacking threat. Always over the middle of the park. He's so dangerous.
Brent Webb, who's signed on for another year with the Rhinos, and he's had a consistent season. Last year, 1 or 2 injury problems disrupted his appearances. Missed very few games this campaign. And he's come up with 10 tries now in the Super League campaign. Last couple of seconds of this first half then here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium, and it's the Leeds fans who are celebrating because their side has gone into a commanding lead here at the break. Leeds looking for a return to Old Trafford. Well, they look as though they're going to end the progress of Hull FC, because